At every family gathering, Grandpa sat in the same chair, near the window, a cup of coffee in his hand. Quiet, always listening, rarely talking about himself. The family loved him. The grandchildren adored him. Everyone assumed they knew him. After all, they had known him their entire lives. Then one day, he was gone. Months later, the family began sorting through old photographs. They found pictures from places nobody recognized. Different countries, different jobs, different people standing beside him. A life nobody had ever asked about. The grandchildren became curious. Where was this? Who were these people? What happened here? Why had nobody ever heard these stories? The answers were impossible to find. The person who knew them was no longer there. One granddaughter later said, "We spent years talking to Grandpa, but we never really asked him about his life." That realization stayed with her. Not because she felt guilty, because she realized how easily stories disappear. Most people don't think their experiences are important. They think, nobody would care. It's just my life. Nothing special happened. But what feels ordinary to you may be extraordinary to someone else. The first job you ever had. The person who changed your life. The hardest year you survived. The lesson you learned too late. The mistake that made you wiser. These are the things future generations remember. Not because they are perfect, because they are real. One day, someone will wish they could ask you a question. Something they forgot to ask. Something they assumed they had time to ask later. What would you want them to know? What story would you tell? What lesson would you pass on? The best time to preserve a story is while you're still here to tell it. Because memories fade. But stories can last forever. Thank you for listening. Subscribe for more real stories, life lessons, and memories worth preserving.